speaker, has been a pastor for more than 50 years. He started pastoring in the Mennonite Church when they were still wearing the plain coats. And over that 50-year time span, he has been at 6 churches, including this one from 1975 to 1986. I know that he is a family man. He and his wife had 5 children, 3 girls and twin sons, who feel his love and care in their lives. He enjoys spending time with his grandchildren, still getting down on the floor to play with the youngest of them. He is the oldest of 7 boys. He enjoys spending time with them and continues to go deer hunting with some of them on a yearly basis. He was married for over 50 years. It is often said that the greatest gift you can give your child is to love your spouse. And he did just that. It was a very special gift to see him take care of her during her 15-month battle with ovarian cancer. And he was by her side when she died in 2004. Since that time, he has remained active in the pastorate. He served as associate pastor at Kidron Mennonite and is still serving as a transitional pastor at Midway Mennonite in Columbiana, Ohio. He has traveled to Guatemala and Nicaragua to visit with missionaries. He went to Arizona this year to spend time with his only granddaughter. He enjoys gardening and will play in the sandbox with his youngest grandson. He enjoys sports and will occasionally take in an Indians game. And this past year, he celebrated his 80th birthday and marked that by completing his memoirs. Most of all, he is a man that loves serving God. His relationship with God is evident in his life, and I am impressed when I hear him pray. He always starts out loving God, a testimony to his relationship with him. So on this Father's Day, I am honored and privileged to introduce to you my father, Herman Myers. Dad, may God bless you as you share with us what he has laid on your heart.
I wasn't counting on that at all. Now you know me. Thank you very much. Thank you, girls, for singing. And Miss Sonia chose Sweet By and By. I'm still here. Well, I have great memories of our years here at Smithville Mennonite. A long time ago, about 20 years. But a lot of good things happened in our life as a family, and I have still great love for this church, and I often include this church in my prayers and will continue to. I've got to collect my emotions a little bit. Those kind of surprises. I had no idea they were doing this, but it's okay. I'm going on the assumption that being Father's Day, I might say a few things about fatherhood, about being a father. It's been a wonderful part of my life, and I know it has for many others as well. Quoting the 5th commandment, did I do that? Paul, writing to the Ephesians in the 6th chapter, he quotes the 5th commandment. He writes, "Honor your father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise that it may go well with you and that you may enjoy long life on the earth." Now, that's not necessarily an absolute, but it is a probability. And we see that played out many times when there's good relationships in the family, the father is present, and the family is cared for by a loving Christian father. There's examples in the Bible of the right kind of father and the wrong kind of father. I just read this past week, again, a story from the life of David. David was not a good father. I mean, he had some shortcomings as father. He was a man after God's own heart, the Bible tells us. but he had some problems with his children. In the first chapter of 1 Kings, we have the story of Adonijah and Solomon. We have these two brothers, sons of David, and it's interesting about Adonijah that it says here that his father never interfered with him by asking, "Why do you behave as you do?" One of the more modern translations say it like this: his father had never disciplined him at any time, not so much as by a single scolding. And then it says of Solomon that David exhorted him to be wise and to trust in God. And Solomon submitted to David's teaching and became a wise king, sharing his wisdom with God's people. However, Adonijah rebelled and met a tragic death. So the command is for all of you who are young and old as well, to honor your father and your mother, and especially on this Father's Day, you have ways of doing that. If your father's living, give him a few words of encouragement, words of appreciation. That's right and good. Maybe a gift, a tie or something, but honor your father. And if your father isn't living, my father isn't living, but I try to honor him in my thoughts about him. I try to, when I talk about him, I try to say kind of things about him and remember that which is good about him. And I urge you to do that too.